When we're looking at, so right now we got some tens, some nines. Cody Cole, you at a 4. Frog Mama, you at a 4. Reese, you at a 3. Nah, nah, nah. I don't like these threes and I don't like these fours at all. As you guys see throughout the chat, you will see links for Sister Sunday, the website and the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? This is a platform for us by us. So what we definitely do is we help women. Okay, we're the first stop. If you're having a problem, a crisis, and things like that, you need groceries, you need gas, you hit Sister Sunday. If you need something as small as prayer, you hit Sister Sunday. However, make sure that you hit Sister Sunday, the website, or Sister Sunday, the Instagram. If you call in and you need help financially through any other place but those two, you probably are not going to get talked to. You're probably not going to understand it. Now, listen, you guys, we're about to get ready to get started right now. Welcome to Sister Sunday. If this is your first time being here, I appreciate you guys pulling up. Listen, man, it's good sometimes that we have platforms where we clown and we do things like that, but we also got to find a balance. It's this thing called real life, all right? And some of us is going to go through it. You feel me? So what I really want people to do, Magic Mike, you do not have to leave. No, it's not a ladies' day. It's not a ladies' day. Sister Sunday is just what we call this. The kings are definitely welcome. We would definitely like to have more perspective from the black man in here as well. But yes, welcome to Sister Sunday, man. This is a platform for us, by us, and who is us? That is the black women. Welcome to everybody on YouTube. You did what I'm saying, Michelle Ellis. I appreciate you for subscribing. So what we do every Sunday is we have a platform called Sister Sunday. Black women, we do not have an outlet where we can pretty much have a forum where we can be completely ourselves. Sometimes it's a medium that we have to find. We can't be too aggressive, otherwise we're bitter. You feel me? We can't be too timid, then we're labeled as weak. But one thing about the black woman, we're always known to be able to carry everything and the weight of the world on our shoulders. So I wanted to have a platform where we can come together and we can help each other. We talk about things that we all need to talk about, and we're going to talk about some shit that'll slap you in your face as well. You feel me? So that's what I want you guys to do. Today's episode is going to be soul tie versus soulmates. Now this is going to be very, very interesting because this is something that I feel like a lot of us fall victim to. We misconstrue, if that's the right way to say it, you know what I'm saying, a soulmate to having soul ties. Now listen, there's nothing wrong with having soul ties if it's a proper soul tie. We have some very, very dangerous soul ties. And the person that sometimes end up getting the far end or the short end of the stick will be the black woman. You feel what I'm saying? So this is where we're about to get into it. If you're on Twitch, you're going to be able to see the slideshow that Katrina put together for us on this beautiful Sister Sunday. If you're not on Twitch, you're just going to hear my voice. Yeah, I'm going to read it along anyway. So yeah, this is what we're about to get into. We as black women, sometimes in relationships, we try to be the savior. We try to put a cape on. We try to have many faces in that relationship, whether it's with a man or a woman, okay? Sometimes we're taking care of the kids. We're working a full-time job. We're coming home to make sure the house is is organized. You know what I'm saying? We're washing clothes. And that's just a small list of the things that we are privy to do every single day. Every single day. And the thing about it is sometimes those things that we do on the day-to-day basis get so overlooked. And it's not fair. It's not fair to us. Then we get into these relationships, right? And we exchange this energy with people. And sometimes the energy that we exchange is for the complete wrong reasons. And that energy sometimes is called a soul tie. So what is the difference between a soul tie versus a soulmate? Let's get into it. A soulmate is the epitome of love and partnership. Your heart's other half and life partner. The connection to a soulmate is immediate. It's not something you got to force. It's not something that you got to read a book about and try to administer in your relationship. It's something that's going to happen right away, especially if it's organic. While in a soul tie situation, the connection is bonded over time. A soul tie could be very dangerous. It could be two people forming something the same things growing up. Say, for instance, you might have had a traumatic childhood. that person might have had a traumatic childhood. Now we know when we go through traumatic childhoods, that means when we get to be adults, that does not mean that we're automatically healed. Age does not make us healed. Being able to confront certain things, being able to identify certain things is the things that starts the process to us healing. So when you have two different people from the same walks of life sometimes, that soul tie can forge because it's a connection through familiarity. That person know what you go through. You knew what that person went through. So you guys have this unbelievable protection towards each other. And it's easy sometimes to confuse that shit as being in love, when that ain't the case. It could be a very dangerous soul tie. Soul ties can often be unhealthy and damaging. Damn right it is. Soulmates do not exercise control over one another. I need y'all to listen to that very, very clear. Because a lot of times people get into relationships, you start bumping monkeys. You exchanging your keys to the house. That D is hitting. You feel me? The D is like nothing you never had before. So you automatically, you confuse that with being in love. Because Lord knows in the bedroom, you ain't never had a man hit that spot the way that he is. So it's so easy for us to confuse what it really is in front of us. I'm going to be very, very candid. There's no need to play around. You feel me? There's no need to play around. Let's be real, okay? Soulmates do not exercise control over one another. A soul tie can exercise control over the other, as they know their vulnerabilities and can use them to their advantage. Now, this is something that the black woman experiences a lot. I say this a lot when you meet someone, the first date, to stop inviting people into your trauma. That's the first thing that we have a tendency to do sometimes. We meet somebody, we go out to dinner, and the first thing that we talk about is the things that the last person wasn't. We start talking about how that person hurt us. We start talking about the things that that person did wrong to us. We're inviting a complete stranger into our trauma. Can't be good. Because some people can take that conversation and use it as their advantage. They now have a blueprint on exactly how to maneuver around you. You tell them the last person cheated on you with a best friend. He's going to say all the things that's needed to be able to make you feel very comfortable in where you're at. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not a soulmate. That is a soul tie. And it can be very, very fucking dangerous. All right? Types of soul ties. First off, soul ties is a connection between souls formed through a shared experiences, emotions, or actions. So it's just like I was saying earlier. Sometimes you can meet somebody and you can see a million red flags with that person. But that person introduced you to their trauma. So now all of a sudden you want to fix them, black woman. You want to protect that black man. Now let's put it in layman's terms so everybody can understand it. You meet a man in the club. You and your girls was out. Y'all was having drinks. It was martini night. And you meet this man. He's very handsome. He come over there. He's saying all the right things to you. You did? You like it. Everything that this man and everything you prayed off, saying that you didn't want, is wrapped in this man. So you definitely see all the red flags. You definitely see it right away. Okay? You see these red flags and you like, oh shit, I can fix him. You know why? Because after he gave you that the most fantastic D of your life, you don't get to thinking properly. You like, shit, I ain't never had nobody hitting it like this. So now what happens is you're becoming vulnerable to this man. All right? Because the D done broke you down. It done infiltrated the system. That's exactly what it did. So now he's sitting there on the couch after he just broke you off. Okay? You making dinner and shit, going back and forth, talking to him. And he's telling you, a woman never loved me properly. She ain't never did me right. Everything I tried to do for that woman, she did me dirty. He didn't tell you about the baby he had on her. He didn't tell you about none of that shit. He's telling you what you pretty much told him on the first date. Everything you told him you experienced, he now became a victim of that same thing. Forging a very dangerous soul tie. So now as the black woman, what do you want to do? It's maternal. It goes all the way back to slavery days. First thing we want to do is fix it. We want to fix that man. We want to remold him. We want to make him whole again. So we ignore all the red flags. Not really having a stable job, having 3 different baby mamas, not really any kids' life. We ignore all of that because now what we want to do is fix him. But see, all he doing is running game. He is forging a very dangerous soul tie. And sometimes as black women, because we are naturally maternal, we're naturally emotional, we fall right into that trap. You feel me? Now drop down in the comments. You can be honest, because I'm going to be honest. I experienced a very dangerous soul tie in my life. I want you to drop it down in the comments and let me know right now. Have you ever experienced that? Whether you're a man or a woman. I know I got Magic Mike up in here. Let me know if you experienced a soul tie from a man or a woman. I want to know. So they are unique because they affect not only your soul and mind, but also how you view the world. Now I want you guys to pay very, very close attention to that last line. A soul tie sometimes are unique because they affect not only your soul, but how you view the world. Now, I'm going to tell you why that shit is deep. Because learned behavior is something that we adapt, right? We adopt. Let's put it that way. Sometimes because of the things that we've seen in life is how we become to operate. So put it this way. If we're a 14-year-old girl and we seeing daddy do mommy this way or mommy do daddy this way, when we become a 25-year-old woman, and we have the same situations in our household, it don't look that foreign because we're used to seeing it. Doesn't make it right, but it's just what we're used to seeing. Now that's why sometimes soul ties can change your perspective on how you view the world. Now you're looking at corny ass men or good ass men as being corny. Russell Wilson. A lot of women and a lot of men look at how he, you know what I'm saying, treat his woman, and is now labeled as being corny or weak, and not as the way that a man is supposed to treat a woman. You see how society has shifted because of social media? It's crazy. Bonding soul tie. This is one of them. This soul tie can begin with intense feelings of lust to pain, anger, or hatred. A bonding soul tie is typically between people who are meeting and can be broken by talking about the connection in detail in detail to each other. So basically, that's what I just told you a minute ago. You feel me? You feel me? You sit down at that table, and you know you want a relationship. You want one really bad. You want one so bad to where you're not setting the boundaries that you need to set to maintain the type of relationship that you're praying for. Sir, you praying for a relationship every night. You telling God exactly in detail what you want. Yet and still, you are still accepting the lie. Why? Because of bonding soul ties. That's the #1 downfall of the black woman. And I'm going to tell you why. It is because it's just what I said a little while ago. We want to fix it. It's a connection so dangerous. So dangerous. You used to get touched on? For real? Yeah, man, a woman did me like that too. So now you're bonding over everything but what you need to bond over. You bonding over the trauma. So what happens when you start healing from your trauma? The soul tie that you guys used to share dissipates. It's no longer there anymore. Because you didn't have nothing else in common but bonding over that trauma. So when you guys start to heal and start to become the best versions of yourselves, right? You no longer know that person who you was sharing your apartment with, who you gave your keys to, who you giving that coochie to. Let's be real, because we got no time to waste. There's no need to bullshit around. We do that. Sometimes as black women, all of our feelings go right through our meat. And I'm saying it in a good way. It go right through the noni. We start thinking about everything else other than exactly what we're signing up for. A bonding soul tie is very dangerous. It's a lot of you women right now in one that don't even know it. You can't fix them, sis. That's why a lot of women get so upset. How many women in the comments right now, right, have been with a man who have took them through the barrels of hell? He done did everything under the sun to you. But the moment that man get on his feet, his attraction to you was no longer there. How many people have been in that situation? Come on, y'all been in there. I say that because a lot of women think that you're going to be able to love the right out of a man. It ain't going to happen. You can wash a man's dirty drawers. You can fix some food every night. You can serve that coochie on a platter for this man, okay? But unless that man has reached his level of potential, okay, you cannot love the right out of him. You're not going to make him be who you want him to be, sir. You can't. Stop trying. What you need to be able to do is you have to come to terms with the things that you want. If that man don't make the checks, guess what, sis? You knew before you even got involved with him. You knew the red flags before you even got involved with him. You knew that he was everything opposite of what you wanted before you got involved with him. But you want the perception of being in love so bad that you're willing to just accept some of the lamest shit in the world. And then 2 months, 3 months later down the line, after your heart broke and you invested time and all types of shit into this man, you cannot understand what went wrong. I tell you what went wrong. You dropped your standards. You opened up your boundaries that you set. And what he did is he took advantage of everything that you pretty much let him in on. A bond and soul tie could be very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Let's move on. We're going to get into the types of soul ties. Number 2, a protective soul tie. This occurs when someone in an intense moment in their life is rescued by somebody else. Now, I know a lot of us have been in these type of situations. Protective soul ties can be very dangerous to one party. And the reason why I say that is sometimes a person can become very codependent on you. You do something for them, and all of a sudden they're expecting that. Ooh, it's not always a great thing. And sometimes as women, we want to protect everybody in our life. Our kids, our mans, our mamas. But sometimes this could be dangerous to us because now they have developed a codependency. And we don't need that. Because anytime a person is codependent on you, it's never going to end well. And that's just being honest. Bond and soul tie. This soul bond happens when someone provides the other person energy to keep going with life and its troubles. Read that. Because a lot of these we are in right now and you don't even know it. Because it becomes normal for us. We're so used as a black woman in walking in trauma every single day to that we believe that it's normal. We see no abnormalities in it. It's not until we get with someone later on that makes you want to become the best version of yourself to let you understand how improperly you have truly been loving. Sis, let me just break it down to you. Pussy ain't gonna keep them. You might need to hear that. Women think all the time, oh, it don't get wet. There ain't nobody getting wet like me. Ain't nobody throwing it like me. Ain't nobody sucking on him like me. And y'all think those are the things that's going to keep that man. Not. It's not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And that's what we learn too late sometimes. Permanent soul ties. Such ties occurs when two souls merge, often without the agreement of each other. However, they are aware of it and do it on a more conscious level. You hear that? This is about to be the one that's finna hit a lot of women in their chest. Because right now, y'all think y'all in love like a motherfucker. And what y'all have is a sexual soul tie. Let's talk about this one. Sexual soul ties form when we become physically involved with someone. They create not only a physical connection, but also energetic ones that are difficult to forget. In other words, you might have went your whole life and never had that box beat properly. You meet this nigga and he beats it down. Pound town. You feel me? And all of a sudden you think that that is the one. Oh, this is the man I gotta marry. Because the thing that he's making you feel, you ain't never felt before. See, this is our most dangerous one as a black woman. Because this sexual soul tie and a protective soul tie goes hand in hand. It do. It really do. Now, I want to know right now in the comment section, and be real. You can be real. How many people got that shit beat so good? You thought you was in love. Be real. You can be honest. Come on now. We ought to know. You didn't have that D. It was so good. You never had it before. The man had you doing shit you never said you was going to do before. Let me know in the comments. Tell the truth. How many has that? He put it down and you said, I love you. Huh? How many people been there? Don't lie and act like you haven't. It's a nigga right now who you cannot block because he's beating that noni down. One day you hoping that he gonna come around. You feel me? It's the most dangerous tie in the world. Soul ties after sex do not always happen, but sex makes a connection on all levels of your being. Your emotional, mental, spiritual bodies get activated during a sexual union. Now y'all gotta listen to that shit. Now y'all playing. What y'all think y'all in love with this man, shawty, and y'all ain't. Because see, one thing about it is, when it comes down to women, as much as we love sex, sex can't be it all. See, man can probably do it. We ain't gonna be able to handle that all the time. Like, we can handle it, but it's not gonna be the priority of our relationships. Oh, we want it. But see, after that good D wear off, we gotta start looking at other things. Like what he's gonna bring to the table. And when I say bring to the table, I don't mean anything financially. If your man is not taking you to that next level of making you want to be the best version of yourself, you need to drop him. Your man should challenge you. Your man should encourage you to be the best or the next person you're supposed to be. Because we're supposed to be able to grow in levels. If your man is not introducing you or leading you to the next level, then I don't know why you're there. See, the problem is with black women, man, we following behind these black men and white men. But we following behind their asses and we're letting them lead when they don't even know where they're going. Catch up, mustard. You're allowing a man to lead you, and that man don't even know where he's going. So where you going, sir? See, some people think the old-fashioned approach is so submissive. No, it's not. Some women hear the word submissive and they just automatically think weak. No, it's not. It's perfectly okay to submit to the right person. But you got to make sure that you're forging that type of relationship with a soul mate and not a soul tie. That's the difference. Don't go and follow no man when a man has not given you any sense of direction of where he want to go. Why, sir? You're heading to a dead end. It's not going to go anywhere. As a man is put on this earth to lead the household. And when I say lead the household, I don't mean make sure that he's paying for everything. It's so cliche these days. A man leads his household in a lot of different areas. His woman becomes a reflection of him and vice versa. Don't confuse good D with having a good man. And that's what the fuck we do. Let's be real. I'm not finna sugarcoat none of that shit. We too grown for that. You confuse a nigga with good D for being a good man. The nigga drop that thing off and go put $25 worth of gas in your car and you feel like you didn't hit the fucking jackpot. Nah! See, a lot of things what people don't understand is a half of these men that can drop that D, know he can drop that D. And he forges this type of tie all the time. The sexual soul ties. Because those are the ties that are so easy to penetrate a woman. Because our emotions, our minds, the way that we think, all of that is tied up in our nonies. Yeah, you hit that thing right, we started thinking about all types of shit. You follow me? Let's move on. Soul ties can be unhealthy. That's what we just got finished speaking of. An unhealthy soul tie indicates something is wrong from an energy standpoint and may lead to an entanglement. Oh yeah, it will. The interference of two individuals in a relationship can create an interrelationship that may become toxic, leading to the formation of an unhealthy soul tie. The easiest way to fix this is through positive affirmations or discussing the experience with someone who can help. And sometimes healing will eliminate dangerous soul ties. If you guys do not come to terms with realizing that you need to heal, then you would never be healed. See, a lot of things with us black women is that we think because we go to work and we have these routines that we doing every single day, that we have it together, that we are healed. Just because we getting through the day-to-day functions, we feel like everything's okay. But what we're doing is we're just learning to normalize the most ignorant shit in the world. And that's sometimes having soul ties that is so dangerous that it alters the way that we're looking at shit. Now, soul ties can also come into friendships as well. It's not just sexual. It's just not, you know what I'm saying, in terms of your spouse. A dangerous soul tie could be to your mama. Let's talk about it, black woman. How many black women in these comment sections right now has a mother that has too been through trauma? And then when you as a daughter experience trauma, your mother immediately disconnects from you. Let's be real. They look at the shit that you're going through like it's foreign. I've seen mothers get agitated because their daughter has been through something. I see women want to distance themselves from their daughters because their daughters has been violated in a way, and the mother just do not know how to mother. So instead of being there for their daughter, they distance themselves, right? So now that daughter grows up, and she's never had that. She's never had that mother to say that was not okay for him to do you like that. She's never had that. She's never had that daddy to say, who, what? The nigga did what? She's never had that. So now when that person grows up, she is so easy. She's vulnerable. She's almost picked out by these niggas that's ready to latch the worst, most unhealthiest soul tie in America on that person. Now, the reason I brought up the mother, because, see, that becomes a very dangerous soul tie. Because we didn't get that love from our mother that we truly needed. Now we're trying to love her even more. But look how dangerous the soul tie gets. No matter what we do for them, sir. And I know it hurts a little bit because she has the title mama. So it hurts you to even think that what I'm about to say. But let me go ahead and hit you with the real. It could be dangerous, sis. Because now all of a sudden, you're trying to love your mother to be this mother that you wanted her to be all your life. So it ain't nothing you won't do for her. You go over there and go grocery shopping for her even when you tired. You let her talk down on you sometimes and you just suck it up. She say things, she don't ever say, job well done, or I'm proud of you. But we still try to love them harder. Because one day we want to hear that. But it ain't never going to come, sis. Because some mothers are aware of the power that they have on their daughters and sons. Now, I hope y'all catching up with me and keeping up with me. Because, see, this is when it gets really, really crazy. See, when you had those mothers and daddies and sisters and brothers, see, you don't want to talk about it. It feel all icky. Because they have a title, mother and daughter, sister and brother. And we think in our head that these are not the people that are supposed to wrong us. But it starts with mommy. It starts with daddy. And it's okay for you to be all right with that. Because one day, mommy's going to have to understand that. That it started with her. See, a lot of mamas be around here, Tokyo Tony. You feel me? And you want to look at your daughter and you want to call everything up under the sun. That is. They want to do all of that. You feel me? But until she realized what she put on her daughter is never going to work. So you got to be okay with dismissing certain soul ties. So it's all right. We're supposed to honor our mothers and fathers. Even respect them to a certain extent. But when we become adults and we have our own kids to bear, that thing goes both ways. Sometimes you got to be okay with dismissing shit that is just not good for your life. And sometimes your mama, your daddy, your brother and your sister just may not be good for your life. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. All right? However, if your soul tie partner brings up negative emotions, you may need to give a second thought and break all ties with them. It might be draining to have someone else's needs and desires feeding into your own and creating an imbalance. Excuse me. Black woman, a lot of our trauma starts at home. A lot of our trauma starts when we're still in adolescent states. A lot of our trauma come from mama and daddy. Signs of an unhealthy soul tie. Let's talk about it. Because some of you guys right now is experiencing unhealthy soul ties and you didn't even know it. You good right there, Deja? Move myself up right here. Here we go. Signs you are of an unhealthy soul tie. You are unable to break away from thinking about the person. Ooh. Ooh. That ain't just a significant other. That could be a friend, that could be everything. That person consumes you. Now listen, it's okay to have thoughts of people, but listen, when it consumes you, it's a problem. Anything of too much can be unhealthy. Even water. You did. You feel used when you're around them, even though it's not always apparent. You ever been in a relationship and you love the familiarity of that person? It feels so good to be around them. You feel me? But then the moment you get there, you wish you wasn't there. You felt that before. I know you have. Drop it down in the comments. You know exactly what I'm saying. Oh, you crave this person so bad. You couldn't wait to see this nigga all day. But the moment you get around him, you like, fuck. I don't want to be here. Who did that? Man, come on, man. I know somebody in these comments. I know I'm not the only person that's been through some toxic ass shit. Right? That's what we talking about. Guess what you're doing? You know it's not healthy. But you keep taking your healthy ass over to his unhealthy ass. What you think is going to make you unhealthy too? It got to be a balance. You can't be healthy all the time and he be unhealthy and you have a healthy relationship. It ain't going to work. It's going to stay off kilter, sis. And you're going to fucking die because you're going to just drain yourself from the inside out. Get away. Run from that nigga. It ain't good, I'm trying to tell you. You can't be yourself or express your true feelings, even if they are your good friend. Oh my God, now this is the one. Because this ties into friendship. How many people in this comment section, and I know you about to step up right here, right now. How many people in this comment section right now had this dangerous ass soul tie? Where you couldn't be yourself and express yourself completely, even around your friend. You had to tiptoe around that nigga. And it was certain things that you could only say because you know if you said it, they was going to take it completely different. How many people did it? Come on, bro. I know you had a friendship or a relationship like that. You're not going to sit here and act like a perfect patty on this platform, family. It's just certain things you know not to say around this friend. Because you know it's going to be an argument. Man, what? That is the most craziest shit in the world. It's unhealthy. Especially in friendship. You ain't boinking your friend. You should feel so comfortable to talk to your friend. When you have true friendship or you're in a relationship completely, you cannot be afraid to hurt that other person's feelings. It does not matter. When you really love somebody, you can't be afraid to hurt their feelings. It's just that simple. All right? You have a desire to stay in a relationship even if it doesn't serve you. Have mercy. I know this is speaking to everybody that's on my chat right now. So, you in a relationship with that nigga right now, you know it ain't good for you, but you keep staying because it's convenient. And then that nigga going half with you on the bills, and you ain't got time to be starting over, so you stay there. But you unhealthy, sir. You unhealthy as fuck. Run, sir. Come on, bro. You might have 3 months of being uncomfortable because you got to get you a new lease. You got to you got to pay for his half now and shit. But guess what? You in your butt naked ass apartment and you as happy as hell because you ain't got to look at his thick ass. That's what you got to be okay with doing. This is dangerous as hell. You stand in a relationship that you know don't do you no well. You know don't do you no good. But you stand there. And we stay out of convenience. We stay out of unhealthy soul ties because you want to protect this nigga. Every woman in his life done left. And you don't want to be the nigga to do him like that. But you seen Ike and Tina. Ike told Tina that. And had Tina there all that time. Had her face all beat up and shit. Tina had to learn the hard way. But Tina got the hell on. And guess what happened when Tina left? Yeah. See, I got to break it down in a different way for y'all to understand it. Because some of y'all only go off TV and social media and not real life. The relationship ain't doing you good, sir. Run. The connection brings up negative feelings between you and your partner, such as anger and jealousy. Let me tell y'all some shit that is really crazy. Do you guys know that you could be in a relationship with a partner and they could be jealous of you? They can. They can. The fuck? What? You can be in a relationship with somebody, bro, and they could be jealous of you. They don't care that your success is their success. They're just mad that you got it, and they don't. And instead of looking at that shit as motivation for each other, it's the complete opposite. Dangerous ass soul tie. Run. Y'all better shout it. Run. Get the fuck immediately. You find yourself thinking about them constantly and more focused on making things work out rather than realizing whether it's unhealthy for you. So what you want to do is you want to make this person happy so bad, even at the expense of your own unhappiness. Run. Get the fuck on. Since you're doing everything for this person to make them happy, they not doing nothing to make you happy. See, sometimes people bamboozle you. And they try to make shit like this acceptable. They'll label this shit as a love language. Oh, he ain't doing nothing for you because he don't do the acts of service. Run! A man is going to make time for and prioritize a woman when that woman is everything he wants in his life. You will see a man be two different men to two different women. Let me explain something to you, sis. And I could probably say this to you because I date women. Okay? Doing all that extra shit for that nigga ain't gonna keep him. I'm gonna tell you. You buying this nigga all this shit. You giving him coochie anytime you want. He not giving it back to you, and you know that. You ain't the one. I'm going to be the one to tell you. I ain't going to let you be around there looking dumb. You ain't the one. A nigga will make time for you if you are the one. Oh, he will. You'll be surprised how that nigga can move time around when he found the one that he wants. Okay? You should not have to force this nigga to reciprocate what you putting out there. Don't believe the hype, sis. Don't say, oh yeah, he a man, men just don't do that. Don't believe that shit. Because there's men out there that will. Trust me on it. You begin to fantasize about the person or relationship, even if they are not someone who you would genuinely be attracted to. This is the shit that I said earlier. You knew on the first date when you sat down, he wasn't the one. You already knew that. You already knew that. You knew when you first sat down and met the nigga. Everything that you did not want in a relationship, shawty, you seen it in that man. But you wanted the perception of being in a relationship. Let me tell you why. Because Valentine's Day and Christmas and shit come on around and shit, and you want somebody to post. You want everybody in your mama and their mamas to think that you happy. Because your friends is posting and shit together all on trips. So even though you know this nigga ain't shit, you force the situation. Because you want to be out there doing the same shit. Clicking and shit. Looking dumb. Run! You start losing yourself or feeling lost in a relationship. This is something that we go through a lot. Sometimes people feel like they can fall in love, right? That when you fall in love with somebody, that you got to submerge yourself in them. You don't. You don't have to suffocate yourself in them. You don't. Because when a person is a true soulmate, they won't even allow that from you. They should want you to be able to do things other than be up under their ass all the time. That's a healthy situation. But if you're finding that you are suffocating inside of your relationship, run. You shouldn't feel that way. You should not feel lost in your relationship. Your relationship should serve as a space of where you feeling like it's just like your sanctuary. Now, granted, we ain't all perfect. It's going to be days you just don't want to look at that nigga. And that's okay. That's not what I'm speaking of. I'm saying when every day that you and this person is interacting, you are feeling just so fucking suffocated. Run from that nigga, sis. Stop thinking that your coochie is powerful to keep a nigga. Because let me explain something to you. There is good coochie everywhere. I ain't lying. Oh, shit. All different types, shapes, sizes. There is too much coochie in this world, right? For you to think that's the only thing that's going to keep a man. It's too much of it. No. There's a girl down the street right now who has the best coochie in the county. But that is not going to keep that man. You have to be okay with putting who you are on display first. Do not put that mask on and try to pretend to be who you think this man wants you to be. Fuck that. It's going to fail, sis. Don't do it. We keep allowing this shit from women. From men, I mean. We keep allowing it to get walked over and get used and all. Fuck that. Because let me tell you something that's very, very crazy. If every woman on this platform set a standard, guess what these niggas gonna have to do? Grow up. Because if he date one woman and she like, nigga, please. And he date another woman and she like, nigga, please. And a third woman, she like, nigga, please. He gonna look at all three of them women and say, damn, they ain't falling for the okie doke no more. I gotta be a real nigga. What is it that I really want in my life now? You see how you making a nigga conform without even doing nothing? See, us as black women, right? And I'm finna get real deep on y'all ass before we head up off this. You think that because this man is showing interest in you, right? That you're going to be able to love him differently than the person that he's with right now. Now, I got to say this real quick because it's going to fuck y'all up. And as a black woman, right? You know the situation. However, you don't care because your soul tie to this man is all sexual. Where the soul tie to his girlfriend is more protection. So you're not realizing that this man is really just fucking y'all both. Now y'all in a competition for all the wrong reasons. Start setting a standard. Start being a great ass woman even when nobody ain't looking. Because see, that's when it's gonna matter. If every black woman starts setting a standard, these men will have to conform. But because we have these women, these grimy ass women, these cutthroat ass women, it sometimes take away from the value of the real ones that's walking around. I hope you caught that because it's really, really deep. Because sometimes you could be the one. You feel me? You are going against your values or desires when you're around him. That means that you like certain things, but you start to be okay with the things he don't like. That's what this means. So even though you like church, because that D was hitting, that D he gave you was hitting, you went against the grain of liking to get up and go to church every Sunday. Because he came in and said, man, I can't trust none of them motherfuckers at church. Them people at the church, man, fuck them folks. So instead of going to church on Sunday like you normally do, he started realizing that that is something that you like to do in your life. So guess what this man is going to start doing? Because he's starting to realize what makes you vulnerable. He knows when he dick you down. I'm sorry, but I got to be very blunt with you. He knows when he's giving you that fabulous D. So let me tell you what this manipulative ass man would do to you, and you don't even realize it. He knows you love getting up in the morning on Sunday mornings to go to church. He want to take that from you. So what he does, instead of boning you on Saturday night, he gonna slide in you on Sunday morning. That's what these niggas do. Stay woke. He gonna slide that thing in on Sunday morning. Ooh. And he is gonna give you the D of your life when you used to love being in church. And it's gonna become a pattern that you don't even realize is happening. Now all of a sudden, something you used to do faithfully for yourself. Every Sunday, get up and go to church, go out to eat afterwards and shit. You ain't doing it no more. Because he realized your vulnerability. He got a hell of a ass sexual soul tie on you. So he gradually started making you go away from all the things that you love. And that's when it could be very, very dangerous. You're going against your values, your desires, and all of that. Stay woke. They out here. They lurking. You often feel like you are never enough for them. Now, I know this is something that we can all identify with. See, the thing that's so crazy about this YouTube shit is that everybody love to be on here laughing, hee hee ha ha, see who got the best Gucci and shit, but nobody want to talk about this real shit. It's so crazy. I could be able to put a title on here saying, Reginae has got back with Armand. And it'll be 700 motherfuckers in here in a heartbeat. But we talk about things like this that affects us on a day-to-day basis. You see minimal. And I'm going to tell you why you see minimal. Because sometimes a person has a mirror image to everything that we're talking about. Niggas don't like that truth sometimes. You're going to feel like you're never enough for your person or your spouse or your friend or your mom. And that's what I was talking about earlier. You should never feel exhausted from loving somebody. Ever. I don't care who it is. You should never feel exhausted. And the moment that you start feeling exhausted and you're not getting it reciprocated back, run, sis. Okay? Now I want to know. Drop it down in the comments right now. We're going to have a little talking between us. Have you guys feel like you met your soulmate? Drop it down in the comments. Right now, if you're in a relationship, Do you feel like the person that you're with right now is a soulmate? Drop it. I know y'all gonna be really mad at me because I did not record this episode. I came right into it. Sorry, y'all. Follow my Twitch. Tell me, Fires, that's exactly right. You cannot be unequally yoked. You cannot be unequally yoked. You can't. That's why it's very important for you to be able to tell a person exactly who you are when you meet them. Stop conforming. Stop being something other than yourself when you first meet a person. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to find a person that's going to be equally yoked as you. If you come into somebody and you got a mask on and you're not being your true self, you're not going to find your true partner. Because who you're being right now is fake as hell. You don't know who to attract when you're not being your true self. If you fart every single day, guess what you got to do, sis? You got to fart every single day. You can't go away from farting if that's something that you do. Let me tell you why you got to fart every day. Because there's going to be a man that's going to come around and say, shit, I fart too. You did. And they're going to be okay with your farting ass. But if you pretend like you don't fart, then you watch the TV one day and you burn. This nigga looking at you like, what the fuck is this? Now you expect for him to understand that. No, he didn't expect to understand that shit because you lied to him this whole time. You was never who you truly was. He should have had the option to know if you was a farter or not. So now when this nigga leave you for farting, you mad. Nah, you can't be mad. And I'm using the term fart, but we do other things besides fart. You feel me? But maybe that would be able to get you to understand what I'm saying. You got to be yourself when you meet these niggas. Period. Because it's somebody that's going to match up to you. And if you're busy being fake as hell in these streets, you're not going to attract the person you need to attract. Whether it be friendships, whether it be business relationships, none of that. Let me tell you something. People could smell a phony motherfucker a mile away. We could smell them. Do you realize that even you could be on YouTube right now, okay? And the person don't know you. See, YouTubers, people don't know us. They have to have a feeling to feel inviting. You know what I'm saying? It got to be something that a nigga feel around you, or aura or something. And the nigga gonna feel it. You feel me? 9 times out of 10, a person is gonna be able to feel that shit. So that's why you got to be 100% yourself. So therefore, you're gonna be able to attract everything you need in your life. If you walk around being negative, what's gonna happen? You're gonna attract negative. So you have to attract people that's gonna be close to you as much as possible. That's the only way you're going to find your one. So be okay with doing that. A soulmate is someone you feel deeply connected to, but not in a dependent or needy way. There are many signs to know, but here's a few. You just know. And that's some real shit for your ass. And that's what I was talking about with these men earlier. When a man meets a woman, he just know. It's going to be things you can teach that man. But when a woman is that woman for that man going to want to learn certain shit on his own. The same way the nigga going to research what type of carburetor he need for his car. Oh, he going to fucking look up massage parlors and all the things that you want when you're that one. Trust and believe. Y'all don't give men enough credit. Men know what they be out here in these streets doing. They fool around because we allow them to fool around. But when we start setting standards and you are that one, oh, trust and believe that man will conform. And he will be everything you need him to be, sir. Trust me on that. They give you a sense of calm. Sometimes a person can just be at peace for you. It could be a friend. It could be a relationship. It could be whoever. But sometimes that person can just feel like melatonin in you. You get around that person, you breathe. Soulmate. You feel one another's pain. This person ain't even introduced you to anything yet. They ain't even told you they hurt. But just on how they walked in the house, you know something wrong. What the fuck? Wow. It's an emotional tie. You feel me? Being with them feels like home. Like I said earlier, your relationship, your person, your friend should feel like a sanctuary. It should not feel like, shouldn't feel like that. You have lots of empathy for them. We don't have this enough, even in our relationships. Sometimes the person that we're in love with and we're growing with went through a lot of shit that they have not probably even introduced to us yet. We have to be able to empathize with our significant others and realize that they might not have been raised like us. So we have to have empathy. Because the way that I might have had a relationship with my father, that person might not have had a relationship with their father. So it's going to be sometimes hard for them to be able to understand what it is that you experience, especially if they never experienced it. We have to have empathy for that. We can't just expect that person to know how we feel. We got to be able to take a step back and say, you know what? It's quite possible that this person might have yada, yada, yada. Let's have empathy for each other at all times. You feel me? You respect each other's differences, but agree about the important things. Sometimes people feel like an argument got to be ugly all the time. It does not. There's healthy arguments. Relationships is beautiful because sometimes we don't always have to agree with each other. And that's the beauty in it. And it's all right. But we have to be respectful of each other to know that. You feel me? Look, I don't agree with that shit, but I love you. You know what I'm saying? But fuck it, we ain't never going to agree with that. And it's okay. But sometimes we get in relationships and you try to over talk a person to convince them to feel like how you feel. You don't got to do that, sir. Because guess what? If a person going to feel it, they going to feel it. Period. All right? You challenge each other. Very important. Your significant other should try to take you to your next level. If you're trying to take your significant other to the next level and they don't want to follow, run. You can only do too much. When you're trying to make your significant other be great like you, and they don't want to follow the road of your successes to be able to achieve the same thing, run. It's unhealthy. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If your significant other is watching you prosper, but they're not looking at your blueprint and want to prosper too, the trust is off. Because they're not even trusting you to lead them. Run. It's not going to work. For real. Especially if time has went by and that person still don't want to follow or anything. DC Fat Mama, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. We got to look at that. You feel me? You're each other's biggest fans. That person should root for you before you root for yourself. Period. You're secure in a relationship. There is nothing that swoons you. Foam is here. Everything is where it needs to be. Because you're absolutely secure. You know without a shadow of a doubt, listen, if this motherfucker don't want to be with me no more, one thing I will say is this nigga will tell me. I feel confident in that. They're your best friend. It's your soulmate. That's your soulmate. Having a soulmate, whether you've been dating for 5 months or 5 years, being with your soulmate feels like you've known them your whole life. It oftentimes feels unimaginable. Like this shit is too good to be true. There's certain that if there wasn't for certain events in your life, simply because they haven't met them yet, okay? You don't always feel the need to plan elaborate dates. Simply being around each other is just enough. You ever been in a relationship and it's nothing better just sitting on the couch and just watching TV and eating snacks and everything just feel perfect? It feel like you're on a vacation. That's how a soulmate should feel. Relationships aren't always easy, even between soulmates. But you two work hard for your relationship. A relationship is only going to work if you guys share the same focal point. I closed down a slideshow. There's nothing on. It's just me talking. I was just reading. Relationships aren't always easy, even between soulmates. But you two work hard for your relationship, which means that sometimes God and you are going to be the one or the determining factor for your relationship working. First of all, the focal point should be God. He should lead your relationship. He should become first, then your wife or your spouse, and then everybody else afterwards. Okay? This often means compromising, working on yourself, or talking through issues. You might argue or disagree over something, but you come out of the situation stronger and more understanding of each other. Like I said earlier, all arguments does not mean is not meant to be negative. Sometimes there's healthy arguments that you got to be able to have. All right. What do you want? A soul tie or a soulmate? Drop it down in the comment section. I want to know right now, what do you want? A soulmate or a soul tie? Which one is going to be important to you? This is what we need to know. This is what you need to know. Let me tell you something, black woman. You are great. We go through enough things every day, all right, for you to be anything other than yourself. There's going to be times where you're going to be unsure, and that's okay. We're not supposed to have it all figured out. But this is the thing. We operate like we do. A soulmate should be what you're seeking. You should be bonded by things other than the things that we just went through. Soul ties are very dangerous. And the thing about it is that we're connected to soul ties way before we are connected to soulmates. It's so easy to confuse the two. I want you guys to understand that we are all bonded on this platform. That's why I love Sister Sunday. Because all of us women that's on this platform right now are all the same. We share one thing. We've all experienced some form of trauma. Now, it's going to be some of us that's going to be able to relate more. It's going to be some people on here that's going to be able to relate to me. Like, damn, man, you ain't had your mom. She was on drugs. Damn, you got mama issues. I fucking do. I got severe mama issues. There's somebody on here that's going to be able to relate to me. So when we're being ugly to each other on these social media platforms and we dogging each other, being real ignorant to each other, just, ooh, why? We're all bonded by the same traumas. You're not going to tell me that right now there's not somebody that's in this comment section that didn't have a mother in their life. You're not going to tell me that there's not somebody in these comment sections who wasn't physically assaulted. You're not going to tell me that it's not somebody who didn't have their innocence taken from them. You're not going to tell me that there's somebody who wasn't beaten on and had to escape a very tumultuous relationship. With that being said, and I only named 4 or 5, we're all bonded from that. So why is it so hard for us to be sisters? Why must we have to be ignorant to one another? Why is it so hard to have empathy for one another? We look at 27-year-old women now, and we look at them making decisions and choices sometimes that might not have been the best. And we look at that 27-year-old and we want to dog them so bad. Oh, girl, you weak. Oh, I can't believe you do that. Not even realizing that we was once 27 years old. So instead of having empathy in sis, we going to ridicule her even more. Not realizing what her traumas might be. She might be dumb to this man because she watched her mama be dumb to that man. And her grandmother be dumb to another man. But yet and still, we come on these platforms and we act like perfect patties. Because we've learned certain things. We're not fair to each other. We always say that, black women need to unite more and we need to be closer and we need to have all of these things. And it's already started. Because sometimes it's hard as hell just being a woman child. Just being in a family as a girl child could be traumatic as fuck. So all I'm asking you guys to do later on in this week, tomorrow is Monday, when you go into work, it might be a coworker that aggravates the hell out of you. She might be young. Give her some grace. Give your sister some grace. This has to be an everyday event, okay? It can't be something that we do sometimes. I'm so sick of women being on these platforms acting like perfect patties. You're not. At one point or another, we've all experienced the same trauma. If we can't bond through nothing else, it should be through that. So this week, my mission for everybody that's watching is give somebody some grace this week. Lord knows you're going to go to work Monday, and just because it's Monday, you're going to have your ass is going to be itching. You aggravated already. Do something special for somebody else. Another black woman. Another woman. I don't want to say black woman, but y'all know how I feel about us. One day this week, drop something to another woman. It could be a text. Sis, I seen you on Facebook. You dropping another little thing. I see your business, man. Hey, I'm proud of you. Actually go on your friend's page that you see is trying to get her new business off the ground. Actually go on her website and look. Some of y'all see y'all friends trying to get their shit together and trying to get their business off the ground, and you scroll right past them, but then you on Savage Times Fenty. You will support a nigga you don't know and scroll right past the person who is next to you. I don't understand that. So this week, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I don't care what day it is, but I want you to select a day to where there's somebody that you can reach out to and just to say, job well done, sis. Man, you handling that single mother shit, bro. Like, I know it can't be easy, but I'm proud of you. Sis, I see you been busting your ass at work, man. Look, I'm proud of you. Say it to somebody. That's my challenge for y'all asses. You guys do not know how far that can really go sometimes. There's somebody right now that you can text or call. Just let them know something. They make it so easy when you don't even got to pick the phone up no more. You can even go in that DM. Sis, I know we ain't talked in a minute, but I just want to let you know, bro. You don't think I'm looking, but I'm looking at you. I'm proud of you. Keep going. That shit goes far. So that's what I'm challenging you guys to do this week. All right? That's what we're going to do. I want everybody to look at a sister and say something. Be proud. It's all right. You can do that. I don't understand why niggas got to be so stank to each other. I had a woman the other day come in my comment section and say, yeah, too. You be trying to be everywhere. I can tell you're thirsty. Wow. They'll look at your networking and shit that you're doing. You know, you're networking with different people. And instead of saying, damn, Toot is out here working her ass off, they look at me as being thirsty or a clout chaser. The fuck? Don't buy into nothing negative nobody is saying to you, sis. This week, going into week, I want you to uplift another sister. That's all I want you guys to do. That's the plan. That's what we're going to do. I want you to do it. Right now, I'm finna uplift somebody right now. Details by Deja. I watch you on your Instagram. And I watch you being in this chat every single day. Support me. I watch myself put reactions to the things that you're manufacturing, some of the art that you do. I put it on my story. I put it in Twitch. I've showed people your work. And it baffles me that I can go on your Instagram and I can see you're doing this. And you put so much effort into the things that you do. And I can go on your Instagram and I see 2 likes on your post. 2. A black woman that's sitting here taking care of children, being a wife, but still finding the time to try to flourish her business. I would go on her post and see 2 likes. 2. It's 86 people in here. And I see people say all the time, "That's dope, D. You talented, D." Support is freer than a motherfucker. Why you can't support your sis? Not understanding. Why is it only 2 likes on her post? Why? 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 The shit we put out is the things we should get back. You sitting over there with a business, you wondering why nobody ain't on your shit. You gotta like somebody's shit and get it back for yourself. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. So you mean to tell me that she gotta do Legacy, Jade, Mondrian, Reginae, she got to do all them folks we got to like her post? But then when she want to just do something calm, y'all can't like it? See, that's how I feel too, Deja, so I get it. I get it. I'm on this post, motherfucker. I'm on a live right now. And I probably got 60 people in this bitch. Let me do a reaction to Armand, Reginae, Jade, and watch the people coming. But then be the same people in your DM saying, "I support you too." See, man, I'm going to give y'all the real shit because, see, everybody be talking about this black girl magic shit only when it's convenient to them. Why? It's fucked up. The black woman gets it worse than anyone on this planet. We know this. You know this. We all know this. We do. But yet and still, we still be ridiculous to each other. Why? That's why this week I'm challenging you to upload and to just goddamn show some love to another sister. That's my challenge. Post your sister on your story for a change. Guess what? It's free. You posting other dumb shit. You got Blueface and Krishan on your shit, but you can't post your sis. Details by Deja. I'm uplifting you. Even in the midst of you trying to get your business off the ground, you're always on this platform supporting me. I appreciate it. When I did S&T weekend, you left your children and your husband to come and support me. I appreciate it. You feel me? That's why when it comes down to you, it's reciprocated. Because we are all we got. Period. So what I want you to do this week is encourage another woman. Send a text. Share some shit. Act like y'all got some sense, man. We be fucked up to each other. Let's change the tide. Let's change the narrative. Let's do that. You feel what I'm saying? I love y'all, family. I really, really do. I hope you guys enjoyed Sister Sunday today. And I hope you guys had some great takeaways. You dig what I'm saying? It's going to be certain things that we got to do for each other. You dig me? We got to. I love y'all. I really do from the bottom of my heart. Tomorrow we back at it. You dig? I appreciate everybody who supports me completely. I really, really do. And guess what? I'm going to see y'all. See y'all tomorrow. How you were there for me, and I can say, YouTube, love y'all. See y'all next time.